We have snacks.
Excuse me. Are we? We're ready? Huh, mine says 7:59. It's crazy. Good morning. Well, that one just went to 8. This one's 8. That one's 7:59. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Village of Ruidoso workshop meeting. It's April 23rd, 2026. And I know we want to stand for a moment of silence. If you'll join me, and then we'll have the pledge. Pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the Zia symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
All righty. Appreciate everybody for being here. Good morning, Madison. So this is your inaugural voyage.
Voyage.
We don't want void.
We don't want void.
We want void.
Anyway, good morning, and we'll have a roll call, please, ma'am.
Mayor Crawford.
Here.
Councilor Corey.
Here.
Councilor Sanchez.
Here.
Councilor Salas.
Here.
Councilor Letterman.
Here.
And Councilor Brophy.
All right. First agenda item is discussion and presentation on the fiscal year 2027 Village of Ruidoso operating budget. And good morning, Madison.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So we set, everybody got their agenda packets.
Yes.
Is that microphone on?
Yeah, can you pull it closer to you?
Is that a bit better?
There you go.
That's good.
Okay. On the first few pages, you'll have the order that we're going to go in for each department. We did have one change. We're actually going to have lodger tax, Ms. Carey, go first this morning. And then we'll start with the proposed budget. That'll be starting on page 6. The spreadsheet just lists each fund by department for the proposed expenses and revenues. Right now, all the expenses are budgeted within the revenue and the cash balances. You'll still see some negative balances.
A whole bunch.
But, I'm sorry?
A whole bunch of negative.
But it does fall within the capital outlay, so it does show a balanced budget. Just a reminder, this is the starting point of the budget. We did take out a lot of capital outlay and personnel. However, me and Judy were talking, and about halfway through the fiscal year, because we budgeted so low on the revenues, about halfway through we can reevaluate and add in some of the capital outlay and personnel.
How much did we budget? I mean, did we cut?
Yeah, they cut a bunch. They were
Yeah,
2 million,
quite a
7
bit.
million in the beginning.
Yes.
Out around, and the department heads and everybody went through and modified to get us back to budget.
And Mayor Crawford, members of the council, general fund alone was over $7 million and had to cut back on that.
What was the basis of the GRT assumptions?
So, Counselor?
Hey, Judy.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good morning.
So during the year, if you look at the GRT, you can see we're up. But this last distribution that we got was really low. And so when I'm looking at it, I wasn't too sure what to do. And in anticipation that we might have disasters again this summer, which deeply impact the flow of GRT, which would be the first 2 months in the new fiscal year. I took a really conservative approach. And even though there was like currently on projections for 26, it looks like we're going to be up between 3 to 5% of GRT, even with the bad distribution this past month. However, being conservative and the fact that I know that we're going to have to reserve some cash because if we do have disasters and the state or FEMA does not come in to help us, we'll have to pay those expenses by ourselves. So I only budgeted 92% of that increase.
Okay.
Now, as we go through the fiscal year, and if we don't have any disasters during the summer months, and we start seeing that maybe these last few months of fiscal year '26, the distributions start coming in higher than what we received last year for the same exact months, we can always come back and add to the projection.
Sure.
And add in some of the expenses that we cut. Remember that this is just a starting point for us to get started. It's not the end all. We can always make changes.
Okay, thank you. And it'd be helpful for me if throughout the presentation, if you could kind of highlight what was cut.
We can do that.
Thank you.
I
So,
kind of figured that
Counselor-
out last night. Everything was cut.
Much.
Counselor Corey?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
council, as we go through the departmental budgets, you'll see the stuff that's cut, and on the spreadsheets that are at the beginning of the agenda packet, it'll show the items that were cut out of capital outlay and personnel.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Okay. Now, on page 9, Ms. Judy put together a general fund balance budget sheet. This is showing the recurring versus the non-recurring. On the left side, you'll see all of our recurring revenues, which come out to $25,436,000. This one does include all of our administration fees. These are from our enterprise funds, such as RJU, SDRT, the airport, solid waste, streets, and then lodgers tax. A percentage, 10% of the revenues of these departments are budgeted towards admin fees, and then 5% of lodgers tax. Then our reoccurring expenditures are going to be personnel and operations. Currently, we are balanced on the recurring expenditures. This one does also include all of our transfers out, which would be our subsidy departments, which are going to be streets, the airport, and the radio station. And those are only because they don't have enough revenue to fully fund themselves, so they're supported mainly by the general fund. And then if you look on the right side of the sheet, we add in all of the non-recurring expenditures again. This one does not include all of the transfers in from the admin fees. And then it does include all of the one-time expenditures, the non-cap. We did have a projected beginning cash balance of $6 million. This is budgeted low. And down at the bottom, the net available cash to allocate to non-recurring expenditures is going to be $2.2 million.
If I can chime in right there too. At some point, we're going to have to talk about setting a reserve for disasters. And I'm not sure if council wants to take on a percentage of expenditures or how much we're going to set aside for disasters going forward. Currently, state statute requires us to keep a reserve of 8% of our budgeted expenditures on reserve for any kind of unforeseen circumstances. So I don't know if we want to adopt a policy like that. A few years ago, council had set aside another 8%, and we were reserving 16% of budgeted expenditures. We might want to go back to that kind of policy, but going forward, I would like to have some kind of direction on how much council wants to set aside for disasters instead of, and us adopt a policy instead of us just having a swag.
Go ahead, sir.
Judy, that 8% is just for the general fund, correct?
Yes, Councilor Salas.
Okay, thank you.
So, Mayor,
Go ahead.
so we're also the clean and lean. I mean, I know that we don't know how many people are going to go with the buyout, but we are going to have to figure that one out, aren't we? Or
Yeah.
is that going to be grants or what?
We are going to have to figure that one out, but right now we're in the final processes of making sure that DHSM will fund that to start, since we're being forced into it.
Okay.
But I do know
Oh,
that,
so I had forgot, so they're gonna pay us back?
Uh-huh.
Oh, like everybody
yeah,
else?
that's
Okay.
the whole intent of this, is for them to, it's not going to cost the village eventually anything. But we do need to rectify, one time, we were doing 2/12 and then 3/12, Judy, and now we dropped down to 1/12. So
Yes.
that's something that I think is very important, especially with everything that we've got going on. And what Judy alluded to was that we've been forewarned that FEMA's not going to probably be around like they were before on the desilting and things of that nature. We don't know that to be wholly true just yet, but I would take them at their word. And so we have got to be better prepared. And she has been budgeting conservatively. I know that we probably I know you said at 92%. Right, Judy? Is that right, Madison?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
That we need to consider even maybe pulling back from that a little to make sure that we have the funds for our matching. We have several good opportunities for our, to be able to get grants, and we need the cash ready for matching. So we're going to be pulling from our savings. What do we have in savings? I didn't see the number.
Right now, we have a conservative estimate of 6 million, but depending on how GRT comes along in the last months, we might go up to 8 or 9. It just depends what happens in the next few months. So I would rather budget conservatively and instead of trying to cut back.
And if anybody saw the GRT numbers, we've been consistently up 400, 500,000 a month over. This last month, we were down 400, and that was for February.
Right.
So we'll know pretty soon about March and April, and if you're like me, you're all expecting to really notice it since the track's not open after Memorial Day, that we'll see.
We'll see a dip in May.
So Judy, back on the reserves, do you have a recommendation?
I think, to hit on the points of Councilor Lutterman and the mayor, we do have money in the general fund currently budgeted for clean and lean at 250,000. But I think that's outside of the buyback program. Those are just the properties that are in shambles that we want to clean up. And then I do currently, Mayor, have $750,000 in the budget for grant matches. But I know we'll probably need more. So right now, if we look at the reserve that I currently have, based on our budgeted expenditures, it's at 1.9 million, which is equal to the 8%. So I would recommend that we do another 8% or even 10%, somewhere around that range, to keep on hand, in order for disasters or grant matches or whatever we might need.
Mr. Mayor,
Sir,
councilors. Judy, okay, so since I'm new here, I'm just going to ask the question. So if we conservatively budget and add an additional 10%, so that would put us at 18%, and we keep that money in reserves and or in savings at the end of the fiscal year, middle of the fiscal year, post potential monsoon season, those monies, I mean, they'll get allocated back to where they need to go. We're just putting them in reserves in the meantime. Is that correct?
Councilor Brophy and Mayor, that is correct. Think of it as a little savings account that we have on the side, and if something happens that pertains to the restrictions that we put on the savings account, we can take the money out of the savings account to pay for those expenditures.
the state statute's 1/12, or that's almost 8%, 8.33%, whatever. So years ago, when the village was broke, way back when we first, well, Rifle was here, we moved it to 2/12, and then we were saving 3, and then we kind of backed it off. But this doesn't affect the enterprise funds.
Okay.
We have those separate. Those are self-funded, or supposed to be.
Sure.
General fund does have to do things like subsidize the airport, other things, and then make sure, but the majority of the budget, as you go through and see it, is usually geared to employees and things of that nature, and matching and.
In Mayor and Council, as Judy stated, her and I have been working on a way to get, on the Water Trust Board, now we were able to apply for sewer projects. And the matching, we're looking at getting it from the general fund, and we're working on that because we have some projects I believe they're going to get funded, and we
Can
can.
we talk about it?
Yes, I guess you could say yes.
38 to 40 million, we were approved. Ron and I went down Monday and Tuesday. And so we're between 38, and then they reaffirmed up 2.5 million, so we'll be at 40.
And that will be used for
Water sewer projects that we have that.
nothing specific. We can.
Well, they're
decide.
they're specific. Each one of these that we've been looking at for the last year and a half, 2 years that we've had to modify from subsequent flooding, that we've got PERs and some engineering done on these, will be able to go to that. I haven't seen which ones were approved just yet, but we have great ideas.
This was from the trip this week?
Well, Ron had already turned them in.
Yes.
And then we went up and did the thank you tour.
Okay.
We had presented in.
Yes, we presented, Adam and I and staff back in October. So these are we had a total 11 projects. We had one that what they did was took it out of our application, and they wanted to use prior year funding for that, and I sent them an amount. So I'm going to be leaving I have a meeting with the Finance Authority. They have a board meeting for $2.5 million for the Upper Canyon Surface Diversion Project, and that's going to help also protection there. And then we had a total of 10 projects, and one of them at the board meeting on Tuesday, we asked for full construction, and we were funded only for design and engineering on that one. So, and that was on the Country Club sewer line project. So,
With the caveat that can y'all get all the work that we've approved and given you money for done, and then get the engineering done on this one, and then apply next year with the Water Trust Board?
So is that for public knowledge?
we're waiting on a list. It still has to go to the New Mexico Finance Authority board meeting. But we're working on that, and AJ was going to get us a list on what was already funded.
So at that point, we can do a press release?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the list of projects that we're hitting.
Yes.
And that's one thing that Carrie and we're working on, is going back in an article, a series in the newspaper on just what it takes to get this far. And so that we can try to relay that better to the public, and then we'll come out and show that the successes that we're having, and we've been working on these for a long time. So, but it was a big home run
Good
for
job.
this.
Thank you.
So,
Heck yeah, boys, 38 to 40 million.
yeah.
That'll do.
So that was a big
Why don't you
thing.
guys go back up there?
Well, it was all the work that's been done. And what we do is, I call it the kiss and don't tell tour. It's just, we go up and really thank the people that work on these things. And we spend a lot of time with those folks, and not a lot of time, not near enough, but just letting them know we appreciate it. And the key to it is, when they have a question, he's right back to them.
Yeah.
And that's what they always said is, well, when we have any questions, Ron is immediately answering his emails, his phone calls, and they answer his, whereas a lot of communities don't. And so responsiveness, having the correct answers, all the different department heads having the answers, the work that he's doing, and then the folks at DHSM, and soon back to be with FEMA, we stay in close contact with them, so.
And Levi and I and Isabel will be going to the presentations either next Tuesday or Wednesday for the Colonias. We applied for 3 applications, so we'll be presenting our projects to them. So, and hopefully we can get funded on that also.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Moving on to page number 10, That'll be the changes between proposed and department requested. This is essentially a summary page, going by each fund. As we go through each department, the changes will be seen more in depth for each line item. And then on page number 14, we have summary of the personnel request. Originally on the department requested, there was 1.8 million requested for personnel. In the proposed budget, there is 124,000. Once again, as we're going through the budget, if you decide you would like to add in more of the personnel, we just have to put it against what we have to accrue in the balanced
Maddie,
budget.
And this includes vacant positions, correct?
So
Or is
this one
current?
on page number 14 is only going to be for requested new personnel.
Okay,
Yeah, so this is only additional personnel that haven't been
approved.
advertised yet or
Okay.
approved.
But then on page 15, all the full-time employees, that's current?
That's
Or is that
correct.
including these?
On page number 15, that'll include all the personnel.
Okay, that's,
So, the school resource officer, the school district pays part of this, don't they?
Yes, Counselor, so it'll
Yes.
be a 50-50 split with the salaries.
And there's going to be two resource officers?
They're requesting two. Currently in the proposed budget, we don't have any included.
Okay. And then the firefighters,
Yeah, I was
this
gonna-
is to get us positioned to improve the ISO?
Yes, that's the recommendation that we're gonna need for the, Station 4.
Okay.
Okay, and then going to page 15, this one is going to be a list by each department for the total full-time employees. There is some departments that have the part-time employees. You'll see those as either 0.5 or 0.25 for the personnel. Currently, we have 263 full-time employees budgeted in.
The one thing I don't see, oh, there it is. Nope. The finance director position that do we have it budgeted anywhere for the additional?
For which additional?
For Judy?
For the, for when she retires coming in. So we didn't budget an extra.
Okay, but
person
we
in,
did
so
do the
it'll only be
economic
for a
development
portion.
director.
Yes, that is
Yes.
correct.
Okay.
We did on the finance section add in the finance specialist, so that one is a new position.
And as it relates to the economic development director, we also budgeted the fee for the headhunter.
That's included in the HR budget.
Okay, thank you.
Following the personnel listing is going to be the salary projection. On the final page, just a few of the assumptions. We do have budgeted in the 1% increase for performance-based evaluation. Currently, we're estimating a 23% health insurance increase, a 0% dental insurance increase, 0% vision insurance increase, and a $2.50 quarter workers' comp increase. And on page 20, you'll find the capital outlay schedule. Originally, in the budget on the department requested, there was 5.5 million requested. Currently, we have 3.6 in the proposed budget.
I don't have a 20.
okay, slow down.
20, we're looking for
Wow,
20.
we're still flipping.
My computer is just, I don't know what it's doing.
20 is
Go all the
way
way,
Oh, it is?
all the way past all the breakdown on the budget. The village capital outlay.
Oh, there.
There's capital outlay.
So on capital outlay, if you had a department request at some number and then you have changes at the same amount, that means we're zeroing that out.
Yes.
We're
That
not-
is correct.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be like 150.
And once again, we do have room to move, to add in more of the capital outlay as we go through the budget. We just have to be conservative because of if we don't start the year with the 6 million cash balance, then we won't have the 2.2 to accrue to one-time expense.
And at the risk of jumping ahead, we've got 500,000 for resurface a parking lot.
I know.
Which parking lot is that?
That's gonna be the parking lot, by the convention center.
And that's a
shared with
third,
NCO.
well, that's 2/3.
Two-thirds, yes.
Two-thirds of it.
Yeah.
Is the hotel gonna cough up?
Yeah. What we've done is since the Behringer and those guys came in late, and we didn't get it out of the other previous bunch,
Right.
because we usually split it a third, so we've budgeted in the $500,000 to redo it. They wanted to come in and just do a paint job on it, which those never work. What do you call that?
Seal coat.
Is it a chip seal or fog seal?
Chip seal fog.
Well, they just spray it. They don't even put nothing down. And those last 6 weeks, and so we want to do it right. But we've been in contact with the hotel.
So
Is that something
Madison,
we have
on
to do?
these
Is that something we have to
eliminations,
do?
have you talked to
That's
the
part of our
various
responsibility.
department heads?
So Counselor Corey, last week, the week before, one of those weeks, we had department meetings, where each department went through with Ms. Judy, with Ron, the finance team, all of their requests and went in depth. And as we go through the departments, they will go in depth with you guys as well.
Okay, so they had the opportunity to make their best case.
Yes, and where we knew that it needed to be cut, Ms. Judy had them prioritize what they were needing.
Okay, thank you.
And Mayor Crawford, Council Corey, also, if there was a way to, some of the items, if we could do it this budget year, we would work with them and get them done this budget year. So,
I just saw that. I didn't see it the other day, so.
We were just discussing back on the personnel, the total expense was 24,491,000. And that includes all 267.
Yes, that includes all two.
Okay, everything that we've got listed. Okay, and the longevity estimates, the service credits, all of that's budgeted in.
That is correct, yes.
Because we're going to have some retirements this year, aren't we?
Yeah, but we have FTEs figured in on some of these, and then the hirings. So that's pretty stable. But I remember when we had 220-something employees.
I think at one time we had like 100 and less than 200,
Yeah.
right there close to it.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, can I, and council members, can I ask you a question about the overtimes? So if we see a significant amount of overtime in each department, would that typically indicate that that department is short-staffed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Typically, I'm sorry. When we budget the personnel, if we don't have a full position, it does cause an increase in the overtime. But the lack of having the full-time salaries will balance
Okay,
with overtime netting to zero.
yeah, okay. I just wanted, I'm all about the guys getting overtime. We all love that overtime money, but, when you see certain numbers in each department, it's like, wow, that would indicate to me that we have some gaps or holes and need some more staffing in those departments, so that way those guys aren't getting burned out.
Well, and what we're trying to do is figure out ways to attract more.
Got you.
And working with Marty's not that big of an attraction.
Just give them all Ferraris, right?
Marty couldn't hear me.
Marty
But,
didn't hear that.
I know you didn't, I'm glad, that we're trying to come up with pay incentives and different things that we're working on, that some of that's budgeted in, to be able to attract more people into those
Into those positions.
wet, cold, hot jobs
Yeah.
that you understand.
Oh, I know the feeling.
But
Do
usually-
you have any hot jobs? I'll take it.
Okay, sorry for that delay.
Okay, go back.
Did anyone have any questions on the capital outlay schedule?
No,
Not yet.
once we get into,
We'll bash the directors and, so.
Oh, we get to do
Not
that?
gonna bash it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good.
They done it to me for many years, so I'm paying back.
Okay, I like it.
When I was a director, I'll say that.
You go ahead.
So now we're going to move into the department presentations. Like I said, we are going to go to lodger's tax first.
And where is that? What?
Let me find the page number.
Oh,
and I'll let
okay.
you know.
I'm gonna say page 100. Because Carrie does such a good job, she gets a A+ on all her assignments.
Mayor and
Nope,
Council,
I was
it'll
wrong.
be on page 146.
Okay.
You stuffed her in the back, huh?
As we go to the departments, we'll go through these in detail.
Okay. Thank you. 46.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you guys for moving me to the front. My team is headed out tomorrow. We're going to Social Media Marketing World in, it's a big conference in Anaheim.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's why I'm here now. So basically, we've asked for the exact same amount that we worked with last year. And I just moved some things around to put more emphasis on, obviously, we're going to bring in more influencers for Ironman and Xterra in addition to what we usually do. And so we've asked for $711,000. And keep in mind with my budget that there's a big unknown because we're right in the middle. We've submitted our New Mexico True Co-op application, and we won't hear what we've been awarded until, it's supposed to be the week of May 18th. So I'm just kind of guessing based on what we ask for and generally what we get. And so the contribution for us for that is usually, last year was the biggest award we had gotten, and our contribution was $309,000. And so on the high side, I put it at $315,000 for this year. And that's with, then the tourism department, their part of it is about $700,000. So we get almost $1 million just from that program. And then we have our supplemental that we add in with our own branded marketing and advertising. So that's what we're looking at. And then, of course, in my budget also are the subscriptions for all the things like the webcam, all of our MailChimp, all the email marketing campaigns and stuff that we pay for on a monthly
What is
basis.
MailChimp?
It's
Survey. Go ahead.
It's an online program that we use to send emails, and
Okay.
it's kind of like Constant Contact. You
Okay.
know that?
It's like a mass email.
Yeah.
You can just-
So, Carrie, what is the role of the Lodgers Tax Board in the budget process? Did they go through this, or you operate
me.
independent of them?
No, I put this together based on what we've done in the past, and my stuff, like my categories don't change. You know, there's influencers, magazines, out of home, social media, photography and videography, and so we have a budget workshop, I think, with Lodgers Tax on the 12th of May, and so we'll present this to them, and that's, they always just weigh in on it and say, great.
So, under special events, if, for example, and not to prejudice myself, but if we ultimately say, turn down Dodds Diving, that money can be used elsewhere?
That is
for
correct.
Special events?
That is correct, Counselor Corey.
So I thought lodger's tax is not paying for those kinds of things.
Yeah, they are. That's how we pay for them.
All of them.
But that's our budget.
It's it's money that we receive back from lodger's tax. It's remitted back to us that we collect.
Yes.
That we don't get back from the state. It comes to us that our lodger's short-term rentals and all that collects. It goes into their budget, and then he comes and other people comes before the lodger's
Right.
tax committee, does a presentation,
Right.
and then they agree to go with it or award it or not.
So all the lodger's tax goes to this line item that comes in.
And she uses it for her budget. This is user money, user fees that collect this. This isn't coming out of general fund. It's not, I mean, it's, if locals are staying in hotels or whatever,
Yeah.
they're paying it. But this is all tourist driven.
Yeah.
So, Madison, what was the assumption as far as the revenue side on lodger's tax?
Counselor Corey, on the revenue side, we did estimate conservatively as well on these revenues.
Okay, can you give me you took a bad year and a good year and,
We took the increase, Ms. Judy would know a little bit more on the revenue, she does the projections, but on the, we took the activity from this year. She has a 5 to 6 year trend that she uses for projection, and then accounting for if we were to have a disaster this year, then budgeting low, taking out 1%, about 2 to 3.
so arguably, it does anticipate the track not being open.
That is correct. On the majority of our revenues, you'll see a trend that we did budget low, rather than with the 5 to 6 year trend.
And Carrie, I may have missed it. Years ago, we kept some aside for disaster media coverage. Are we still doing that?
That, in the past, that has always been augmented by, like when New Mexico Tourism Department stepped in and gave us a 1-to-1 match. And so basically what we do is, if there is a disaster, we just shift some of our spend around.
Okay,
But it's not, it doesn't sit aside in its own, in its own pot.
okay.
And then you change the message
Right,
with
right.
a lot of the digital and the way that we've had to change with
Yeah.
social media.
Well, and unfortunately, like if you go back to like the Little Bear Fire, and then you come to now, the last few years have been so rough that the tourism department is always very ready to step up and help us with that and augment what we have.
I guess one, no.
Counselor Corey?
Yes, Judy?
So if you look, just to get back to your question about the revenues and what I did with the revenues, Madison is correct. I did look at a 6-year trend. However, when you look at the lodger's tax report, you can see that we're up 4%. However, I'm taking into consideration that the track's not going. And so currently we have budgeted 2 million, and we will definitely be very close in the current year to that 2 million budget. So taking that kind of scenario, I kept it flat at 2 million for 27.
So, one concern I've got, Mayor, and I'm sure you're on top of this, there's gonna be a change in administration, so all of the alliances you and Ron and Heath have built, how are we gonna fill those with the change?
Well, and those are things that some of the different departments, the secretaries, in some cases like DHSM is now the executive director, so that's not an appointed position. That's one reason we do the tour, that the people that are actually helping us work the paperwork behind the bureaucrats, if you will, the employees.
They'll stay.
They're staying, yeah, they've been there 25 years, some of them longer than that. And they do get moved from department to department. For example, Ron's had some close ties with ones that we've worked with over the years that are now in another department. And just like on the DWI board that we were on, was that Tuesday? Today's Thursday. Tuesday, they've been moved around and now then they're chairing some of their departments. So the employees get moved around because they have a shortage of good employees. So they usually take really good ones and move them. But with the secretaries, that's a little bit of a concern. That's why we're buttoning down everything we can with Secretary Rob Black. That's the Economic Development Director for the state. And we'll find out, we've got Quintana, which is new at the DOT. I don't know if he'll stay or not. Probably if we have a Democrat elected, they'll probably, most of them, I think, might stay because there's just not a deep talent pool. So we're doing everything that we can, and I've met with Bregman, the only one I haven't met with was Holland, and I reached out to some folks in the Democrat Party went Monday. Was it Monday? No, when did we leave? Monday? Friday and yesterday. I met with two of them to say, because she's been coming in and out of town, and we didn't know it, that we would like to meet with her to develop a rapport. And of course, all the other ones on the other side, we've met with Doug Turner, Greg Hall, all of those people who would be your suspect for those things. And so we're doing everything we can to make sure that we've met that. But for the most part, it's just like here, if I were to keel over tomorrow, you guys would still be here, that they would be there, they would be there, they would be there, and it's through slow attrition. It's the secretaries and the appointeds that we're not sure of.
And I've been in contact with Holland.
Okay, good. Because I haven't heard anything from her, but several of them said she's been out of town. I said, well, please, when she comes, let me know so we can sit down and have a meeting just to get to know one another.
If you don't mind, I may reach out to her. And
Absolutely.
contact you.
Absolutely.
And Counselor Corey, on the tourism side of that, a lot of the people that we work with in the tourism department have been there for 10-plus years that we've,
Both
yes.
R's and D's.
Yes, and so they don't see a high turnover rate within their
That's
ranks.
reassuring.
I just wished he would be made
I know.
permanent. I don't know why. He's so good,
He is
and
And
he's
he's-
always been the deputy, so
such a big fan
he's the
of
interim.
Ridoso,
Yeah, he's been very helpful. His whole crew has been helpful, so.
very much so.
But that's why we make a big point of spending a lot of time with those folks, and like I said, Ron's the master at that, and we'll be getting Heath more involved in that, and that's why we send folks down to get to know people. And we're looking forward to Quintana, hopefully, I don't know how long he's gonna be around, but we're having a big gap right now because people only have like 6 months left of a sure job, and so
Are
they're
they
having a hard.
starting to bail?
Yes. And so we're having a hard time keeping people employed and attracting. So it's part of the way our government's set up. That's why we try to get all these things codified. That's why we were very tickled with the Water Trust Board and the change that happened in legislation this time that we were all pushing for, that once the Water Board Trust makes a recommendation, they can implement it with it having to go through legislative, and it gets delayed.
So under special events, didn't we last year, didn't we contribute to the air show?
To the Roswell Air Show, Lodgers Tax did not contribute to the Roswell Air Show.
We did advertising.
Yeah, we advertised.
We advertised in their show program.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nothing else for me unless anybody has any questions.
Mayor and Council, on the lodger's tax non-promotional, page 149, we do also have the building improvements for the convention center. This is going to be the plumbing for the men's and women's restroom.
That's in lodger's tax? It's not in her budget?
That is correct. Originally, in the department requested, it was in their budget. Being as we had a little bit extra in the lodger's tax, that would apply to the non-promotional, the 40-60 split that we have to do. We were able to budget it into the lodger's tax, so it didn't take away from Bernadine's budget.
I
Two
thought-
hundred and sixty-three thousand.
Correct.
I thought we had already,
Well, we'd
That
redone
was the interior, not
Yep.
the plumbing.
oh,
and they've had a lot of problem with odor and whatnot in there.
okay.
And so it runs across the building is what I've heard.
So the Bernadine can go into a little bit more in depth. From what I understood, currently they have the cast iron pipes and they're having to replace them. That entails taking out the walls in the restrooms to get behind to the plumbing, completely redoing all the plumbing.
And we have how many bids on that?
Mayor, we had one council state price agreement on that. One price agreement. bid.
That's going to take a while, isn't it?
We're gonna, the plan is to do it in end of December, I believe, is when they're gonna.
End of
Yep,
December,
January.
early January.
Yeah,
So-
okay.
6-week project, 8-week project.
Up at-
Well, I mean,
3 months is what I'm predicting.
you think 3 months, Rifle?
Yeah.
We need to get all that nailed down.
Yeah.
Have a time limit on that? Do we, who's the contractor?
Rymark.
I'm like, well, they usually do things really quick.
Yeah, they
Do
do.
they? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, they do, so we'll,
They did the stucco project and got it done.
yeah. and the
We'll make
paint.
sure they get rolling on it and get it.
Wow.
Mayor and council, it's Bernadine.
Yes, ma'am.
So I have been in contact with Bruce through Rhinemark, and the project is actually going to take 3 months. But I've already blocked out those 3 months so that we don't have schedule anybody to be in-house so that they can complete that project.
Okay.
Well, and also, could we use some portables?
We could, if we needed to, we could probably borrow the ones that Parks and Rec have if we absolutely needed them. And I think that right now, the only group that we have in-house that it would affect would be our Christmas party.
Well, don't serve beer.
There will be no drinks served at this year's Christmas party.
Who wants to go to that kind of Christmas party?
See you in 2 years.
I'd like to see the design on all of this stuff and what we're gonna place it with and, you know, the tile or just what we're gonna do.
Okay.
We
Okay.
get new
I will.
urinals
I'll
and
bring it with me.
toilets.
Do you have all that, Bernadine?
Yes, I have the bid that he sent over to me. Do you want me to email it to you, Mayor?
Yeah, well, so we can get it to the council just to look at it.
Sure, you bet. I'll do it right now.
Bernadine, is much changing in the redraft, or are they just gonna fix the plumbing and put it back close to what it was?
No, they're just, all they're gonna do is go in, of course, they're gonna have to, take up part of the concrete and things like that to get to some of the plumbing. And so they're just gonna go in and replace all of that old corroded cast iron with, PVC.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
'Cause we've had issues for years.
Well,
Yeah, well, cast iron is just at the end of its useful service life in general.
A lot of them, you know, there's slip line in it, but that was not an option.
no.
It's,
Well, when we had
unknown
the
product
football
and it's a lot
players
of money.
over there, we were having some issues.
Yep.
And that's one reason we have those Dyson hair dryer, hand dryers, to cut down on flush anything like that. And that three-finger paper, toilet paper. That's, you know, maybe we can get the real stuff in there. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Carrie.
thank you, Carrie.
Yes, Carrie. A+.
So we're going back to Terry?
Mayor and council, we are going to move to the joint utilities fund.
Which page, Madison?
We are gonna go to page number 25. Okay, I'll start off going over the revenues. Currently, we do have a water and sewer rate increase of 8% per the rate analysis. In the revenues, once again, we did take a conservative approach due to leak credits. And then also because of our utility billing, currently we are doing corrections within our billing cycles. So we're projecting based off of those a little bit lower than the rate increase.
So Madison and Judy, how closely do these numbers align with the rate study we did?
Counselor Corey, Mayor Crawford, so when you look at the projections in the current year, which is the first year of the rate analysis increases, you can see that the revenues aren't coming in as they should, and we are attributing because of the loss of some of the accounts within the system, and with some of the leak credits that we've been giving, going out, which are correct according to our ordinance. So because it looks like we're not going to meet budget in the current year, we did take a very hard and fast decrease, and we are budgeting based on projections. And right now, which forced RJU to take a lot of cuts. But again, we know that there's going to be some accounts with the apartment complex coming online, 603 coming online. And then during the year, if we see those come on and the revenues go up, we can always change. But at this point, we took a hard and fast approach to just budget it pretty much flat. And I can't remember the percentage, but I'll look up the percentage that we did budget. It might be a small increase, but we didn't budget the full 8%. I think it was at 4 or 5% of it.
So Judy, are you comfortable with the validity of the rate study?
Can you repeat that? You kind of broke up on my cell phone.
Judy, are you comfortable with the validity of the rate study?
Yes, with the exception that we couldn't predict that we were going to lose some of the accounts. And it had already been completed, so I know we might have to maybe tweak it a little bit, but overall, I'm very comfortable with it.
Good.
Judy, how many accounts are we down?
Oh, Levi, do you happen to know? I can't remember the number.
I don't have it offhand, but I would say probably close to 600 if I was guessing. But I'll try to.
And that's fire and flood, Levi? Loss?
But based on how many meters we lost, that's where I'm getting that number from, is how many meters we lost. And I haven't seen very many come back with a new home other than a handful.
And Mayor Pro Tem Salas, members of the council, we did a rough, just with how many homes were destroyed. 100, let's say $130, $140 a month, and then do the math, and it was right on track on the revenue shortfall, so.
Okay. So everything was tracking close enough anyway?
Yes, so.
Been getting a lot of leak credits, like we've had leak requests, and I go through them and make sure that they're per the ordinance. We do currently have in our ordinance that we give 2 leak credits per year, but I would like to possibly change that to just 1 per year. I've only been allowing 1, that's all we have been. But it says in the ordinance that we give 2 per year, but I would like to take that to y'all to change that to 1 per year.
And what does that really mean?
So if they have a leak and it's on their main water line, it's not a water softener, a water heater, or any fixture like that, and they submit an invoice from a licensed plumber or an invoice from the hardware store showing that they fixed the leak, and then I pull it up on Ion Water, and they currently don't have a leak anymore, then we give them an average of their last, Christie goes off of that particular month for maybe the last 2 years, or
It's like 12 months, I think.
12 months, and then they give an average, and they give them, their high bill for that 1 month goes to the average.
You know, it's gotta be a mainline leak. And then the issue, another issue with this is anytime we give a leak credit, it goes towards our non-revenue water that we were talking about.
Yeah.
At the last meeting.
That 25%.
So, we're having another rate increase this upcoming fiscal year,
Yeah.
Yes.
and obviously that's been factored in. Thank you.
So if we give one, that means only one person or one household would be able to do that?
One household a year, or
One account.
one account. So every account has the option to get that leak credit one time per year.
For the month, for 1 month of the year, if they had a high
Oh,
bill.
okay, so if we have 8,000 accounts could have one per year. Oh, yeah, that's
And
how,
right now it's two as well.
Oh.
It's two, so I'd like to bring it before y'all to change that to one.
yeah, okay,
The
good.
public, really, they only think it's one, but it's actually two in the ordinance, but I haven't.
Well, you've now gone on record.
Now I'm gonna get the calls. Keep it at two, keep it at two. You go there.
Well, we need to do that.
Levi, and this is ultimately up to the due diligence of the homeowner, correct? Like if they're leaving or if they're not here, they need to turn off their own.
Their own working shut off, yes, sir, and that is a required ordinance. I am also looking at some other ordinances as far as requiring PRVs as a possibility. Because I have been getting some that they blame us for the higher pressures, but we can't guarantee 80 pounds throughout the whole community everywhere.
Yeah, no way.
And that's the thing is in the plumbing code, it requires you to have a
Pressure relief valve.
pressure regulator. And our ordinance states that you have to have your own.
Your own cutoff.
Accessible working cutoff.
Yeah, and I bet there's a lot of people don't have their own cutoff.
No,
More than you know.
Yeah, my neighbor, I saw they tore into their,
When you were talking about all the overtime from my department, so after hours, a lot of our calls are to turn on or off water.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, because you're turning it off at our meter, right? Not on the homeowner side?
Right.
Dang it. And it sucks to crawl out of bed to go turn off a water leak, huh?
People coming in, you know, they know that this is their second home, and they know that they're coming in a week before.
We would charge $100.
And they call it 10 or 11 o'clock
Charge
at
like
night.
$100 for a turn on or something, turn off.
You know, so that's where we're getting old.
And we charge for that service, but we probably do not charge enough to be able to make up for the time of having the guy out there when
Yeah.
you're paying a guy time and a half, plus the truck and the fuel. and
Say
everything
drag them
else.
out of bed, fire up the truck, go there, turn it on, and then go back to the shop is,
Right, for one account, and I think is it $100 that we charge to do that? I think it's $100 for,
oh yeah, that's,
$100.
you guys aren't even break even on that service.
Oh, it's $50.
$50?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm just
So
having you turn on
our,
my water.
our past due accounts, is that a significant issue or not?
I think Christie is really on top of it. She's, that's like Madison spoke to, they're going through some changes in utility billing, getting everything caught up and up to date, and Christie's been really good about holding those people accountable and actually shutting them off and, you know, getting them on pay plans so that they can pay off that.
And it's not a big item, but I noticed the interest on investments, budget's dropped,
I can answer
30%.
that one.
Yes, Judy.
Counselor Corey, in the past couple of years, RJU had a healthy budget. However, within the last few years, some of the studies and different things that could have been charged to SGRT were instead budgeted within the RJU fund as a discretion of the director. So it kind of took their cash reserves down. And so that's why you see a decrease in the interest expense. Interest income coming in. But to answer your question on delinquent accounts, as long as we have a way to shut off water on a customer's account, we get payment, because they want the water turned on, so they have to bring their account current. The area that we have problems with are like on yard waste accounts where there's no kind of axe to hit the customer with. If it's just yard waste, and it's $15 a quarter, sometimes they won't pay, because we don't really have any way to kind of enforce the payment to come from them. So those types of accounts are the ones that we're having trouble with collecting on.
Thank you.
Anything else on the revenue part? Let's move on.
I think I'm good, yes, thank you.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the water billing. That's gonna be on page 27. These are gonna be our gals up front doing the actual billing cycles. There really wasn't many changes within their budget. The only changes would have been through the personnel, the increase, which accounts for the 1% increase in wage, and then the 23% increase in health insurance.
So we're fully staffed.
Correct, yes. So we have our utility billing clerk one, that's going to be Rachel, who works up at the front desk. We have Larissa, who is our utility billing supervisor, I believe. And then those are the only two that are budgeted within
Okay.
water billing. Our customer service representative, Christy, she's budgeted through finance, as well as Shelley, who's our part-time clerk.
Okay.
What is that 23% increase in health insurance based on?
So that is based on, every year, HR has to go out to look for insurances. Right now, we have Blue Cross Blue Shield. They're projecting the increases based off of the rates that they're receiving from Blue Cross Blue Shield, and then they go and they shop to see if we can get a better price.
Do you recall what the increase was last year?
I do not, but I can find out.
And then we've got at the bottom of page 27, merchant ETS fees. Is this for credit card charges?
That is correct. We are currently working right now on when customers pay online, there's a fee that ultimately comes to us to pay out. We are currently working with the credit card companies. We have quite a few that we've been in contact with to
So,
eliminate those fees.
Judy, I recall you had talked to us at one point about passing those fees on to the customers using credit cards. What happened to that?
We are looking, Counselor Corey, because we have so many different merchant fees, and because we were a little bit shorthanded during the year, we are currently still trying to implement that.
Okay.
So it is in a process, but however, we haven't gotten it all the way through.
Because don't they charge like 2 or 3%?
Oh, yeah, it's like over 3%. At least I know that we pay over 3% for our business.
That would,
Well,
because
We
that's
charge
a lot of
3.5 to.
well, and even drafts, I'm, my Zia bill's on bank draft and they charge a service fee for using.
But paying an ACH fee versus a credit card fee is significantly different.
Yeah.
An ACH fee is typically quite a bit less than a
Yeah,
credit card
they're
percentage.
charging, I think, 95 cents a month for the ACH fee.
I'll take that over 3.5% of a single transaction.
Sure.
And this is for all credit card use, like at the pool or anywhere where we pay with credit card, right?
That is correct, yes.
because we don't take cash for anything, right?
We do take cash,
Oh, we do?
yes. I don't believe we take it out at the Whibbit, but out at the pool, we do take
But we
cash.
take cash here,
That is,
Yeah.
yes.
okay? Okay.
It's such a hard thing, it's like you want to pass that on to the customer for using their credit card, but how do you, I mean, how many credit card transactions are we talking about annually that we process? Do you know?
I don't have the number currently.
Is it
It's a lot.
100,000? More?
We get quite a few.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
most people don't even use checks anymore.
Yep.
People don't write checks anymore.
We do.
I do too.
We do,
We
on
do
our-
get, Counselor Brophy?
Yes, ma'am.
We do get a lot of checks and we do get a lot of people paying online, so we do get, we do process a lot of checks, which in turn has a cost of processing also, so. But we do have a lot of people paying online, through our website and that come in and pay with cards.
So Counselor Brophy at 3%, that'd be 3.5 million in charge.
Recording stopped.
They didn't want to listen anymore? Yeah, that's a ton of charges.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I know that personally in our businesses, we pass on that 3.5% to all of our customers to pay. If they're gonna pay with a credit card, they pay that 3.5% processing fee.
Most businesses do
I
that.
think you had
Yeah,
to.
they
I'd
do.
say it.
And
Log
you get
cabin.
Oh, yeah.
that discount if you pay cash. I know there's a few businesses say you're paying cash, okay, you get this price.
Yeah, we can do it for less, or,
So currently, we're
I mean,
I think we should pay that.
so much, yes.
it's a lot of loss. It's a lot of loss every year.
We'll have to look into that. Or impose it, pass it on
So
to the
Judy, that'll stay on your to-do list?
customer.
So we,
Currently, Robin Park is handling that. And we'll get it implemented.
Did I hear you right, Judy, that the water department is already doing that?
Robin Parks is currently
Oh,
working with
she's
the
working
credit card
on it.
companies.
Okay.
Okay.
But if you pay online, Counselor Salas, the charge is already there.
Okay. But I could still mail my check in, right?
Yes, you can. Or you can come see the lovely girls in utility billing and have a chit chat and pay your bill.
No, I got a lot of veterans that work for the post
Yes.
office, so I support their job.
There you go.
Put a stamp on that envelope. Anything else? Moving
I don't
on.
have anything, Rifle.
Not
Moving
on
on.
water billing.
Okay, we'll move on to water production. That's going to be page 29.
All right, Terry. Are our tanks full? That's always my question.
It's pretty full right now.
All right.
We have been cycling them out, so if you monitor it, you might see them drop 8 feet, but we just try to get those water age down, so.
Okay.
I think, right now, Alto's at 54 and Grindstone's at 48, so.
That's
We're
still
sitting
good. To me, that's full. If you were saying that it's about 10 feet,
Right.
then I'd be like,
Nah,
what's
we won't
happening?
ever get that low.
Okay.
No, if I can help it, so, absolutely.
So you're 48 and 50, that's feet?
48 vertical feet of water and it overflows at 57 at Alto.
Shoot, that's full. Okay.
Are you fully staffed?
I have kind of 2 vacancies right now. I did do a job offer to an individual, and hopefully we'll be bringing him on real quick.
Okay.
We'll have hopefully
But-
one vacancy.
Budget-wise, are we budgeting at your current level?
Right now, we are currently budgeting at my current level, all vacancies and current employees.
Yes, sir.
We had asked for a third person for our PRV crew, which was in the master plan, but due to the budgetary constraints, that
It
we
got cut.
removed that one.
Okay.
Capital outlay, we can do that. Currently, we're only asking for I forget, let me put my glasses on, I apologize.
That was correct.
Where's the capital outlay page?
31.
31?
31, correct. We're asking for 32,000 for, we have an issue at Grindstone at Plant 4 with the outer shell is rusted out at the bottom. And we went out to Rymark and got a quote from them for $27,694.94, including GRT. But that was kind of early, so we added approximately 10% to cover any kind of increases in that. Just in case, I have copies of that if anybody wants to see them. We had also had asked for paving, but we removed that at Grindstone. And,
Anything else removed?
and we asked for a 5-yard dump truck. We do a lot of cleaning at all the intake structures and stuff in-house. We try to when we can, and we do have a dump trailer, but a lot of it's a little on the big side. It's hard to get in and out. Dump truck would just make it a lot more efficient.
So Madison and Judy, again, God hoping our revenues come in higher than expected, we can revisit these capital outlay requests.
Yes, absolutely.
Get this man some money for a dump truck?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel you, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
You asked for a truck, right?
we did ask for a truck, and we were able to go ahead and purchase it
Out of this year's.
out of this year's budget. We,
Moved some money out of 212 over to his budget for him to purchase that truck.
it's already been delivered.
It was more important than the dump truck.
We can, if he had to have a dump truck right now, another department,
Right.
street department or
Right.
water distribution would be able to help him.
Okay,
Correct.
Yeah,
okay.
but waiting on another department when you gotta get stuff done is.
He's got a CDL driver, so.
Okay. If you just
I got
send
a
him right
couple of
over,
them,
huh?
Actually.
So it's not a big item as it relates to
Operations at this point.
water production, but I'm curious, how did we handle budgeting fuel costs?
Yeah.
We just,
The fuel costs were based off of, what was used last year, or the current budget year.
Okay.
we added
We added 4,000
Yeah,
to his,
$4,000 is what we added in that particular line item.
So that's,
For fuel costs.
that's probably one that we're gonna exceed.
Yes, sir.
Throughout the, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you guys used what,
Especially diesel.
28,000, 2024 to 2025?
29.
Is that actually what you used?
Last year, we budgeted 18,000, and
Uh-huh.
currently we're at 12,834.
Yeah. But I'm
Yeah, right up at the-
wondering about village-wide.
We added 4,000.
Can I ask a question about the village fueling? Do we get a discount on fuel because of the volume?
Yes, sir. We
Okay.
have a contract with, is it Bell Gas down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we buy all of our fuel with a Bell Gas card. I don't know what the percentage is, Robin. I don't know if she's in here, but
It depends on how much we buy every month. They do a calculated
Where
discount.
is it?
Yeah.
But
It's-
I've
it's
seen,
different each
I've
time.
seen cars around town at the gas stations.
And I think, not all the departments actually fill up at Conoco. I know
So we,
the fire, police, and I think executive they use the actual fuel cards, and you can go to any one of them.
Go to any one of them?
Yeah.
unless we're going out of town or unless I'm on one side of town, I'm almost out.
And you have to, yeah.
We all of our guys get fuel down at Conoco.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, because your annual is what I'm doing quarterly on fuel costs, so that's why I said that's significant. Cool.
Terry, where are we on our well development on Eagle Creek?
Riverwell or?
You talking,
Yeah, I remember phase 1, phase 2, so maybe it is, River 2, I lost count. I see well development of $50,000,
Well,
and I
we-
thought it'd be more than that.
yeah, we utilize mainly well development for repair.
Okay,
If we lose a VFD, if we lose a pump, or,
do we keep any pumps and,
we don't keep it, I do have a couple, I have an old one for Cherokee, but, I don't keep it in stock.
and I remember we were keeping for Hollywood, it seemed like that was changed every year.
You know what, over the years, we have, installed downhole transducers in every single well, so we monitor the well depth
Okay.
every 2 minutes, and we're on top of making sure that those don't get pumped off. We haven't lost a well due to pump off in 2.5 years.
That's great.
Good for you. That's a good.
That's good. That's, I
We have
didn't know that.
reduced the amount of money that we've spent on rehabbing wells significantly.
Forgive
And then going
my,
to VFDs as well.
forgive my ignorance. What is franchise taxes?
I'm right with you.
So a franchise tax is any business that operates as a utility. They have an operating tax that they have to pay based off of the revenue that they receive for that month. Within our departments, because water production essentially is its own utility, the franchise taxes are paid to us, such as like P&M, SIA, natural gas. They pay the municipality. The tax is based off of the revenue. So in order to stay within laws, our internal utilities pay that tax into the general fund. It's all a percentage based off of the revenue that's received for that month.
So general fund supplementing the enterprise fund?
No, opposite.
Opposite, Roy.
No.
Opposite.
Opposite.
Okay.
It's in our ordinance that they have to pay a franchise tax within the ordinances of the village of Ruidoso.
And what's that?
And they also have to pay a payment in lieu of taxes, like property tax,
And what's that tax rate?
5% of the revenues.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so going down our individual lines,
Just anything that changed, yeah.
right, just the changes. So we did increase the ads and publications due to the increased cost of manufacturing and mailing out the CCR report,
Yeah.
Consumer Confidence Report, which should be going out soon, the new one. This year's is already on our website.
That's the one we get once a year?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the only other change on that one down is uniforms and laundry expense. We increased by 500 to, we're bringing on another employee, so we increased that line item to pay for those uniforms.
Yeah.
General office supplies, we cut by 600. Janitorial supplies also cut by 500. The non-cap furniture and equipment, we increased by 1,500. I'm having issues with my computer in my office, and we're gonna look at replacing that. We touched on, base on that, on the fuel cost, we increased that by 4,000. The shop tools, we increased by 3,400 due to our PRV crew is getting trained right now, and we have some more tools that we're gonna have to buy for that 5,500 to keep track with those. Our laboratory expenses, we increased by 20,000 due to the microplastic testing.
Yep.
And,
Are we gonna have, is that gonna be required now? I know we
That is
talked
not a
about that.
requirement.
It's
No.
not right now,
not right
but,
now.
but
That's
you-
an unknown right now. They're just looking at PFAS, even though they're kind of hand in hand,
right,
right? The microplastics are a carrier of the PFAS, but that is not a requirement. And
okay,
it's over
And
$1,000.
hopefully we'll get some reimbursement on that.
yeah, that would be good.
No,
Tur-
yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
The state currently is not paying for that testing at all. We'll have to pay for that out of our budget, but it'll cost us $18,000 a
Right.
year to pay for that testing, to test for microplastics, which is not a requirement by the state.
But thank you for moving forward with that.
No,
'Cause
absolutely.
ever since that Alpine Village water report came out, I was getting a few calls.
Right.
And
Those were microplastics, so, I mean, not
Yeah.
microplastics, they were PFAS. right?
PFAS, yeah.
Right.
A lot of them were saying it was the microplastics.
Right,
But
correct.
Terry, do you not have
Is that our
do you have any
water
leased
system?
equipment?
Do I have any what?
Leased equipment?
They do not.
You do?
It's on the news.
Oh, every piece of equipment we have is
Okay.
outright ours, we purchased.
Good.
Down to well development,
Testing.
that one was cut by 7,850.
What was that, Terry?
The well
Oh,
development,
got it, okay.
contractual services, we cut that line item by 2,500. Down to travel and schools, we increased by 1,000. Training and development, we increased by 1,000.
What is the PILT?
I'm sorry?
Property in lieu of taxes. The PILT,
Yeah. Payment in lieu of taxes. What is that?
It's like a property.
Greg Corey, Counselor Corey, that's the one I was talking about, that the enterprise funds have to pay a property tax per ordinance
Okay.
based on their fixed assets if they would have had to pay property tax to the county.
Okay. Judy, I thought you were my mom scolding me when you said.
Sorry.
good, Judy, keep it up, keep it up.
So when you have somebody that's going to test, we pay for that, don't we?
Yes, ma'am. We pay for the first 2 attempts.
Okay. So that's enough money for, do you have some guys that are fixing a test?
We have, yeah, we always have. I mean, the testing portion of that is nominal. It's only $30 a test.
Oh, okay,
Right, it's the training that gets expensive.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, we always need more, but we'll suffice. If we need to do a BCR or something, and my guys need it, we'll do what we gotta do.
Okay.
And that's all the changes we have, and
The only thing I have, Terry, the utilities jumped up quite a bit. I'm just imagining our bills are going up or service.
they are. We just had an increase in chemicals.
But I didn't see the chemicals go up.
Chemicals are increased for sure.
Chemicals gonna remain the same. We're gonna be, it's gonna be tight, but we're gonna.
Cause that's where you're proposing 90,000, but I look at the 23, 24 at 100,000. I feel more comfortable with 100,000.
Back then, that I did a lot of research and I cut that chemical, the polymer cost in half.
That's
By
great.
changing, manufacturers.
Dang.
And, we've been real good. Like I said, 2 years ago, we bought the Zeta Potential Analyzer, and we've been on top of testing and trying to stay as close as we possibly can. We've done a real good job of trying to keep those costs down.
Because I'm sure by monitoring more frequently, you use less chemical because you don't have to shock as much back into compliancy.
Well, it's not, well, the polymer use is what's expensive.
Gotcha.
And that's the coagulant that we use for the filters.
Oh, okay.
And it runs about, I mean, the polyaluminum chloride is right now $1.29 a pound. We buy that in 55-gallon drums, they're 600 pounds apiece.
Okay.
We buy 12 drums at a time, it's approximately $8,500 a pop. And we buy one about every other month.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
That's all the questions I have. Any further questions for Terry?
No, sir.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you. Thank you
Doing a
very
good
much.
job, buddy.
Got it.
Thanks for taking care of our water, man.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll be on page 32. So in our department, we didn't ask for any more personnel other than what we currently have. We do have one vacancy, the water resource director, and that position is budgeted in this current budget if we did fill it. We didn't ask for any capital outlay in our budget. The
Are you-
biggest.
Brown nose.
What's that?
Are you brown nosing?
No.
Way to put him on the spot, Susan.
Levi, what's the drop in professional services?
So, Counselor Corey and Mayor, so that is what we talked about a little bit ago. So we had been paying for professional services and contractual services, which is kind of what we do for engineering related to water projects, as well as like the shoemaker task orders, our hydrologist, and the monitoring that goes into that. The I&I study that we're doing, any of those, agreements with engineering firms or Shoemaker and Associates, we're gonna start paying for that out of SGRT rather than out of our budget due to our, how our revenues were down. We were able to drop both of those, line items, the contractual services and the professional services, which was $155,000 and $125,000. We took it out of our budget.
So we're essentially just reallocating it.
Yes, sir. We had a little bit more money in SGRT to be able to pay for that.
Okay, and I presume the same applies to contractual services.
Yes, sir.
And then legal fees, it looks like that's been running half of what we budget. Is there some room to lower the budget on that?
No, not with everything that we've got going on.
With our water rights, sir, and every time we get protested to do anything,
That's
so.
upset.
Yeah, we've got that one.
Other than that, I guess I'll start going through the items. We did raise our subscription and dues by $200. That's for some of our memberships and stuff. And then we cut our uniform and laundry, the $500. We don't wear uniforms, and we all had shirts, already. So we just cut the $500 out of our budget. General office supplies, we cut it from $4,000 to $2,000. We cut the non-cap from $3,000 to $2,000. We did raise our fuel from $5,000 to $10,000.
Yeah.
Now that we have Josh and myself that are going to be paying for our fuel out of $212, I think Counselor Sanchez, he paid for his out of distribution before, so that's now coming out of $212, and both of our trucks are diesels and they get terrible mileage.
They do? The diesels do?
I get about 11 miles to the gallon
Okay, so where are you taking that?
to Bell Gas, to Conoco.
Are we allowed to delete are we allowed to delete the trucks? Like village trucks?
No comment.
No?
Delete them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get rid of the DEF and the EGR systems on the trucks.
We haven't, no, especially since it's under warranty right now, so.
I got you. Because I've doubled my fuel mileage by doing that.
My personal vehicle is same.
Mm-hmm.
We did add a line item for shop tools, of $3,000 just for miscellaneous tools for Josh and myself. Safety equipment stayed the same. What was the RJU materials? Usually don't use that. Okay. We have $222,000 in our contingency fund. And it's usually around 150, it's normally around there. We did add to that, and some of that, when we got done balancing, went into the contingency fund. But with that, either the departments, Marty's department or Terry's department, if we have any issues or if something comes up, that's just money that we can pay for what they have to have right now.
Right.
We did, travel and school stayed the same. We did drop our training and development from 6,500 to 4,000, being that we hadn't been using the whole 6,500. But we do plan on doing a few trainings, stuff this year.
If we do a CDL license, where does that come from? Does that come?
That is, we end up paying for that and then work out a payback plan. So I think, isn't that coming out of general fund? The individual department pays
So
for that?
the person with the CDL pays it back?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
They sign a contract with us.
Got it. Yeah.
And then once they've completed that investment we've made in them, it's their license, and
Yeah,
so.
nice, okay.
Majority of the money was paid for by grants, from what
Yeah.
I was told when I went to get mine. And then you do, as an employee, you do have to sign a contract that you'll stay with the village for so long or you'll have to reimburse.
Grants from
Well, that grant expired before you took it, so you gotta start paying it back.
You better look at your paycheck, Levi.
Yeah, because it's expensive to get your CDL.
Yeah.
Hey, Mayor,
Yes,
I believe Cheryl budgets some cash in her budget for those programs.
Okay. Thanks,
Okay.
Judy.
Oh, okay. For the equipment rental, we did remove that item. Planning and zoning is gonna start paying for the rental of the equipment and the ink. We've been paying for it, and planning and zoning uses a lot more ink than we do. So we had a conversation to either have tags to, who's paying for, because it was a huge expense for our department for the ink, and we use a lot less than they do. So they're gonna start paying for that.
Levi, where are you and Josh physically officed?
In that back corner.
Oh, so you're here.
Or in their trucks, I'm sure.
I thought you coded your work copying and stuff, so it broke on the copier. Because I remember making copies here, and I'd have to put my department number in on the copier, and then that's how they would split it all out.
Oh, no, sir. We talked about doing that, but we decided that 90% of the use was their department. And so they decided they agreed to take it in on their budget.
Okay.
Then the money we paid to USGS stayed the same for the gauging stations. The $2,000 that we pay for Country Club, the tanks up there, the property, we leased that property from the state, stayed the same. Or it went up a little bit, just a few. Other than that, vehicle maintenance, we raised it a little bit, or was it 9,000 last year? Is that right? That 5,500 should be enough to cover us for vehicle maintenance.
Where is that? Oh, right there, okay.
So that's all I had, if y'all have any questions.
anything else?
I don't have any.
No,
Okay.
thanks, Levi.
Thank y'all.
We're gonna be on page 34 now.
Okay.
This is that's you don't have to talk about. You can go down here to your capital. You didn't have any capital.
Okay, so we're gonna start on subscriptions and dues. We went down 3,000 on that. We don't have, currently, we don't have a lot of dues because a lot of my guys aren't certified yet. And then I'll go into that on the schools. But we're planning on, some of my guys are planning on starting to go to classes and get their certification, so we'll start having more dues paid
Nice.
for them. So we did drop that by 3,000.
Marty, could I back up?
Sure.
Our overtime salaries budget
So,
is significantly lower than what we've historically experienced.
correct. And like I know this last budget, we were way over on our overtime.
So what's changed to allow us to reduce the budget?
I think Judy and
Councilman Corey, Mayor Crawford, so the issue is that he's had a hard time hiring people, so when we budget full staff, all vacancies filled. And so what happens is during the year, if he can't fill those vacancies, of course, he'll have a savings on full-time salaries, but then the overtime will come up just because of the case of that there's not enough guys on staff, so then his overtime increases. What we look at during the year is that we make sure that the total amount of personnel stays within budget. We don't really care of the individual line items because it's just the nature of the beast. If you don't have enough people, you're gonna call more of your on staff to come in overtime. If you had a full staff, you might not have had to run all that overtime, so that's the issue.
So Marty, are you fully staffed?
So I agree with Judy to a point, but even if I'm fully staffed, I still have water leaks at night, on the weekends, holidays, and it doesn't matter how much staff I have on, if I'm fully staffed, I still have the same amount of people coming out.
So this gets back to what Counselor Brophy brought up. Do we need extra staff to?
It's not having extra staff or any of that. I mean, even if I was fully staffed, everybody's still working their 40 hours a week, but it's the nighttime and the
going out.
weekend work that's causing all the overtime.
So where are we getting the overtime? If we don't budget for it, Judy, so we're budgeted, what, 90,000, and we're up to 157. So where do we get that money?
Plus, you have to remember too, some of that is for the monsoon that will get reimbursed from FEMA.
Correct.
So in all the years that we've been here, he's never gone over budget.
Yeah, a lot of it came from the flooding and the fires, because they were here for days at a time, so.
And so we did get paid back from FEMA for that.
Not yet.
but they still
So
have.
what will happen at the end of the year, those expenses that are tied to FEMA will be pulled out of that fund and put into the FEMA fund, and then we'll wait for reimbursement.
So
We
again,
just have done the journal entry to move the cost.
so again, my concern is our overtime expense has averaged 163,000 the last 2 years, and yet we're only budgeting 90,000 this year.
And,
Mr. Mayor?
I don't think he's ever been at full staff.
So do you pull it from the staff then?
from full-time salaries.
From the
Yes,
So he's.
the full-time salaries. As
Yeah.
long as he doesn't go over the total amount,
yeah,
he's within budget.
okay.
Mr. Mayor, Council, Marty,
Plus,
with,
can I add one more thing too?
yes, ma'am.
Plus, when we have a vacancy, we budget at full family benefits. And a lot of times the guys that come into those types of jobs don't take those benefits, so we have a lot of savings on group insurance. So that kind of helps offset the cost too.
Yeah, I got it.
Can I ask the question?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Do we, have we considered having someone who's actually like night shift for that department specifically, and/or, a couple of people, just looking at the overtime, and again, I'm not knocking any of the guys for getting overtime. We all love a little bit of overtime on those checks, especially after a busy, hard week. But, judging from the dollar amount that we see in the overtime, would it behoove us to have someone on night shift or on call that's, part of a normal salary rating, or?
We do have somebody, we do pay on-call, which is that standby pay.
Okay.
On
Standby
here.
pay, that's what
So
that is.
there is one person that takes the on-call phone home, so that's the only person that gets called out unless we have a leak, then they'll call out the whole crew. And then
Gotcha.
for holidays, I do put on a whole crew on standby, so they're on call. So I'll have 6 guys that are on call throughout the whole holiday weekend or whatever it is.
But we don't have the standby pay for budgeted.
It's right there, it's the third line down, standby pay.
It's the
There's nothing on
We
it.
didn't put nothing on that one.
I'm looking at it.
I'm still concerned overtime and standby pay are both significantly lower than what we've experienced.
Marty, and so this is like middle of the night, main water line burst. You guys are calling everybody out, tractors, personnel, blocking off the roadways. Is this where a majority of the overtime really comes from, is like that middle of the night
Right.
type situations? And it's not just a one-man job, obviously. Like, you got to bring
Yeah.
several people with you, flaggers for traffic and,
Back truck, everything else.
Yeah, we'll have like 6 or 7 guys out.
middle of the night type situation.
Right.
So would you say, in your personal opinion, that, overtime is just really uncontrollable, right?
It is.
Unless we have a significantly better infrastructure under the ground, then we can't typically justify lowering any of your overtime budget, because we're going to continuously have breaks or damaged things.
Correct.
And you can go back and look historically with the flooding. That's what doubled everything.
Yeah, I'm sure breaks and lines and clogs and.
Well, and just all of that above, those guys are out all the
Well,
time.
and doing the roads, closing down the roads and
Right.
all of that.
Right, yeah, they, my guys are out shutting the roads down.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just like Josh's were.
Yeah.
There were the snow plows clearing debris off different roads, tractors clearing debris.
Snowstorms.
Snowstorms, the snow plowing and stuff, even though we didn't have that much snow this year, we didn't come out, but, the years past,
it not
yeah, a lot of time on plowing snow.
I still think we need to increase overtime.
I think you're right, Counselor Corey. In my personal opinion, I think that that's something that you just got to have budgeted. Like, it's going to happen. I don't know. And again, I don't know how the budgets work for you guys, and I don't know the amount of effort that you put into your.
What she does is, we're trying to balance it with requests and where we're at. So we have budget adjustments throughout the year.
Okay.
So if it looks like we're gonna have that heavy monsoon, it may be triple.
So if Marty's hitting half of his annual projected budget amount by the first or second quarter in the year, then we can increase that significantly.
Judy will call, we'll have a special meeting.
Okay.
And is that the way you want to do it, Judy, or do we want to go ahead and try to allocate some from general fund?
No, we'll deal with it when we see it coming. Because there's no way to predict it, so why we even try?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We'll just deal with it when it comes, and then we'll do a budget adjustment. I do quarterly budget adjustments that come not only to our IFC, but to the council, and we can make it at that time.
And Mayor, Councilor Brophy, in years past, Judy's been really good about, sitting down and adjusting our budget, especially with overtime. She keeps a close eye on stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Mayor, Council. So Marty, just because I don't know enough about your department, obviously this is the first time I get to see any of these documents for all of you guys. You don't think adding another position or adding positions would lower that overtime amount?
No.
No, because it's just going to happen.
It's gonna happen. I mean, even if I have, 50 guys, it's, the water break is gonna happen in the middle of the night, no matter what. And I'm gonna have those people out.
And a lot of times they'll send out a spotter to look at it, and if it can be shut off, then they'll schedule it for first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
But just like, what day was it? Monday, Tuesday, you shut down at 4, you started at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Over there on Junction, so they could get everything back in operation, the business is running as soon as possible. So that makes a long day.
Oh.
In Mayor and Council, that just having the bond question on the water infrastructure, the 3 million from this last election, and going after water trust board projects for infrastructure. When Adam was with the village as the director, we saw some areas like Pine Cliff that we hit the water lines, and other ones that we're working on where that was a 5-day-a-week going up to Pine Cliff area. We eliminated that with the new infrastructure. We have Country Club now, so we're trying to hit the critical areas that we see a lot of leaks going to. So we'll keep our fingers crossed and work with that and see how that goes, so.
And, in years past, another thing too is we've put in for more positions, but right now we can't even hire the positions that they have.
Yeah, I didn't even ask for more personnel this year because we can't fill the ones we got.
How many are you short?
3.
Oh, okay. Okay,
a foreman and two maintenance techs now.
okay.
Bottom line, Counselor Brophy, we've been knocked out.
I totally understand, and thank you so much for entertaining my questions, just because I don't know. And, but now I know a lot more, so. And I definitely, thank you and your department for.
Thank you.
What you do. I've spent many a nights in in the dark and covered in whatever I'm covered in, and, it's not the funnest job.
Correct.
Yeah.
So on-call services, where's that funding, that budgeted at? Where does that come out of?
It comes under,
It's within the budget
The
line.
standby.
Standby?
Standby, yep.
But it's not, there's no money there.
Yeah, Susan brought that up, that there's no money allocated in that line item, right, for the 2026, 2027 Department 1 request? Is that an oversight, or is that something that can be adjusted, or is that a Judy question?
It's immaterial to the whole total budget of the personnel.
It's immaterial, Judy, it doesn't matter if it's in there or not?
No,
Thank you, ma'am.
because the last 10 years, he's never gone over total budget because of the savings on the vacancies. And once we pull out the FEMA overtime, he'll be under.
That answers my question, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, and then where are we at? Postage. On postage, we usually ask for 200, we asked for 100 this year. The uniforms and laundry, we budgeted this as if we were fully staffed. So in case we do bring on all of our people, we do have enough to pay for all the uniforms. So that's at 14,000. The general office supplies, we're at 5,000. Janitorial supplies, we did ask for 3,500. We did go up from what we had it before because we scheduled my guys now to do our own department instead of having Parks and Rec go over there. So we're going to go through more supplies so they can actually mop and clean and sweep all the shops and get everything done completely.
Okay.
So I have those guys scheduled to be doing that. So we did go up a little bit on that. On the non-cap, we went to $5,000 on it. Utilities did go up because we do have the two buildings over there now.
Yep.
So we're having to supply water and gas and electricity to both.
Marty, what do you have propane on?
What's that?
What do you have propane? There's a description down here for Bell Propane for $2,900.
It's for the grills when
For my
they cook
grill.
every Friday.
That's fine, I'm just.
I was like, we're having cookouts every Friday?
It's for my grill when I have to cook at night for these guys in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
It's under utilities,
Oh,
so I didn't know if you had that for one of your pieces of equipment.
no, it's for the grill. I didn't even see that in there, to tell you the truth.
$2,900 for grill?
He's teasing you.
I know he's pulling my leg, I'm just wondering what we use it on.
I know you used, propane, like the little bottles
Marty,
for your heater system, but.
Counselor Sanchez, this is Corina. All of that information was put in by Robin. We didn't put that in on our budget.
Thank you, Karina.
Okay.
What's OCEC?
But if you want to leave it there, I can use it for the grill.
Add it to overtime.
That's where the grill comes in, that's
Yeah.
overtime for cooking.
Let's see, and then fuel, we did go up to $61,000 on fuel. Let's see here. On shop tools, we did drop that down to $25,000. What I did there is I had some money left over in my tool line item from this last budget, and I went ahead and purchased a lot of that stuff beforehand, and we have it stocked in our Conex trailer. That way, since we cut the budget now, and I don't have to buy so much
Yeah.
for the next budget. Cool. The safety equipment, the same thing. We usually ask, or we were asking for 50, We cut that one also. I had some more, I had some money left over in that line item too, and I went ahead and bought extra waders, gloves, glasses, signs, traffic cones, that sort of thing. And I have that stocked up in the Conex also in case we need it. So we were able to cut that for this next budget. Chemicals, we also cut that one. I had money left over in that line item also, so I went and bought a couple of 55-gallon drums of degreaser and disinfectant now. So we have that in stock right now, and I don't have to purchase that on the next, this next budget. Contingency, we did ask for 150,000.
That's
And
quite a
stayed the-
raise.
That stayed the same.
Marty, the ask has stayed the same, but obviously looking back in previous years, I mean, you don't get close to touching it, but it's better to have it and not need it. Is that the situation?
Generally, your contingency line, you'll have your initial budget. What shows on this report in the total budget includes any adjustments done throughout the year. So it could have started out with 150,000, and then we had budget adjustments to move it into other lines.
Correct. Like if I had to buy extra chemicals or whatever, I'd move 10,000
Sure.
from that into there to cover expenses.
Okay.
Contractual services, nothing. Engineering, zero. Levi's gonna take care of that.
Job you got.
The phone services, we did drop to $7,200. Let's see, what else do I have? Travel and schools, we did drop that since we hadn't been using that. But now, like I said, I do have some guys starting to go to classes or wanting to go start classes. But that 8,000 will cover, because I only have a few that are interested in doing that.
Okay.
Let's see. Repairs and distribution, that one went to 240,000. That's for our water repairs. That's to buy all of our supplies, which is fittings, pipe, any of that, those items. We did have some money left over. Well, we didn't have money left over. What we usually do is at the end of the budget, we make one big order and we restock all the shelves with a bunch of supplies. So we just did like a $97,000 or $96,000 order to restock everything in stock. So now we start over with 240, but the prices of materials now just went skyrocketed.
Mayor, do we use Water Trust Board for stuff like that?
No, there's specific projects and
Oh, that's projects. Okay,
each one of those are approved.
okay.
And right now I'm working with Dennis, and I got him a list of locations and parts and the prices of parts we used or the contractors used to do emergency repairs right after the flood, whether it was sewer or water. And he's gonna try seeing if we can get reimbursement for all of that, plus the equipment and the personnel on site. So, but I did get him the list of all the materials and everything and the pricing of all the materials, so he's working on that right now.
Cool. Marty, Mr.
Go
Mayor,
ahead.
Council. Marty, can I ask the question of how many different types of product materials are you or like how many different material products are you actually having to stock? I mean, obviously, I know there's PEX, there's PVC, there's cast iron,
We go all the way from 1/2 inch to 24. 24?
Yeah, 24 inch, and so you're having to stock all those types of different
Everything,
fittings.
whether it's repair clamps or Hymaxes.
And then how many different
pipe.
materials like are actually currently in the ground that you're having to stock for? I mean, are you guys making cast iron repairs if there's cast iron? Are you guys making copper if there's copper, PEX if there's PEX, Poly-Kitech, all of those types of products as well?
Correct.
No poly, but.
No.
No poly,
No
okay.
poly.
Thank
But
goodness.
it's PEX and PVC, cast iron. I think that's all we got.
And then we have to have the valves
Oh, AC.
on the shelves,
Yeah.
and you'll find that in the water department, that there's just some of these we have to have.
Yeah, we,
I was just trying to wrap my head around how many different types of
how many different of the same fitting are you actually having to stock whenever you make these orders?
Yeah, we buy them by the case, so that we
You
have.
have to, right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
And, on sewer, it was 120,000, that's the same thing, just to stock sewer supplies or buy sewer supplies, fittings, pipe.
So, Maddie, can I ask a question on this one? It says, total budget for last year was 1.6 million, and then, total activity was 1.3. Is that because of the flooding of the projects? They roll that in there, or how's that work? Under.
Oh, yeah.
Sewer repair,
Oh, so,
52049?
yeah,
Oh, yes, so all of our grants.
oh, yeah.
After, the budget is put in.
So why would the grant be under repairs and distribution?
So we distribute, while we might get the grants, they'll go into the revenue for the entire fund. And then where it's, expensed out of, the money is put in. So the repairs, it would be put in to
So
that
the
line.
grants the grants we got to, like, do the sewer repairs and stuff like that is what you're talking about?
Correct, and I had talked to Judy about this too, and, we're gonna see if we can't make I don't know, maybe a subcategory to those line items, because like now, we don't know what we have left in that budget because the grants were added. So she's gonna see if she can separate those,
Yeah.
you know. You're right, and we were working with Judy on that one.
I figure, I just wanted to ask the question on it. 'Cause
And Mayor Crawford, Counselor Sanchez, that's the emergency funds that we received for water and sewer.
Street cuts, we didn't budget anything for street cuts, for this year.
Sorry, Josh.
I'm putting in a new water line for him at his building. That's why we traded out a new water line for the street cuts.
I don't know who got the better deal on that one.
And then equipment rental, we don't have any rentals. We have leases right now. And, we have the Vector on lease, and we also have, 2 backhoes on lease.
Why not go with 440s instead of one of each?
The 420 we had got, we've already had that one for about a year, and then we just got the 440.
Okay.
And the reason we went with the 440 is because, that's the sewer backhoe, and we weren't able to lift the manhole bases with the other one.
That's right. Well, that's why I was saying,
Right.
have them both 440s. But
Right, well, we got the 420 first, and then now we got the 440, and then our copy machine, also in the office. And then equipment maintenance, we went down to 80,000 on that one. And, so as far as equipment maintenance, and a 3/4 ton truck is considered equipment, 3/4 ton and up. And, we're having to do a lot of maintenance on our trucks and tractors, but now that we got new backhoes, we got a new Vector, and we just, ordered our 3 brand new 1-ton trucks. It's gonna cut our maintenance a lot, so we went down on it. Or I shouldn't say maintenance, but repairs anyway, as far as those vehicles went. Vehicle maintenance, we asked for 40,000, we got 40,000. We also have those other 3 brand new trucks coming in too, so that's gonna cut our repairs a lot on the vehicles we already have. And then building and property maintenance, we went down to $20,000 on the maintenance for the buildings. Building improvements, nothing. Equipment and vehicles, we didn't, put in for anything because we did have the money in our budget now, so we went ahead and purchased them now, so we didn't have to ask for any, on the next budget. Projects and construction and sewer line extensions, we didn't put anything in there.
And we do have some grants through the Water Trust Board, looks like that we'll be doing extensions. So
Correct, and that's why we didn't put anything in there.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of that coming.
Okay.
In Mayor Council, we also have a capital outlay that we'll use for some match, but it's going to be for sewer extensions also.
That's it on mine.
Thanks, Marty, for all y'all do.
Thank you,
Appreciate
you're
it.
welcome.
Thanks, Marty.
Yes, thank you, Marty.
Thank you, guys.
Where we going next?
We're gonna be on S tier.
Okay.
So the revenues are based off of a 5-year trend.
You want to get the microphone?
The revenues are based off of a 5-year trend. That's going to be line 40303 and 40310. Those did go up significantly. You will see quite a few empty lines for the moment. That's due to the grants. We budget those in after the beginning of the fiscal year. Okay. But that's the sum of it for revenues, unless you have any questions.
Nope.
I don't have anything.
No, that should be in there. Because the annual, should that be 150? Okay.
Should be like
Okay.
So I'll talk about the SGRT, the project. So like I said, we pulled what we were spending out of professional services and contractual services and are now paying for it out of SGRT. So the I&I study that we're doing right now will come out of SGRT, the 4,000.
660.
660 right there, yes, sir. And that's probably gonna go, that's an extension. We're doing an extension right now as well. Solder Miller's working on that. We have smart cover meters that monitor that. And then I also have added another gauge there at Hollywood. And that's just so that we can go back to our credit for return full credit. And then the contractual services, that should be 150,000, not 15,000. And then the professional services should be 90,000 right there.
So the
Verified.
contractual is 115 instead of 15.
Let me confirm that, sir. Should be. It's rolled over. We're paying for it now out of SGRT, so maybe that's why it hasn't.
So it's in the current budget?
It's in the current, so it should be 155 and 125 coming out of SGRT, but those are just our agreements with Shoemaker and any of that as far as the, and then any projects we do as far as engineering, and we'll take that before council when they're water projects. Page 39. Then our leak detection, we'll pay for that out of the SGRT as well, which will be it's $39,000 this last year. And they test a third of our water system. And we just went through that here recently. Total, they only found about 10 leaks. Most of the leaks were fairly small, less than a half a gallon a minute or something. And then they did find a couple of larger leaks, and Marty's guys got right on that and have addressed those. A couple of hydrants that were leaking But throughout, they did a third of our water system, so it went fairly well.
Are those leak detections, Levi, by sound?
Yes, sir. And I am looking at another leak detection through NMED. They use satellite to tell you that it's leak detection based on the moisture content and stuff. So we have applied for the, Isabel applied for that
So is it
grant.
used like thermal?
We use this.
No, it uses the gases and everything. I was at a water law conference and they were showing the satellite technology that they can tell from what the plants is producing, and there's a whole bunch of data that they collect. And they can actually tell if you're using your water rights or if you're not, because we looked at the valley and saw where people weren't using them. So it's pretty high tech. I forgot what the name of the software is. Elizabeth, do you remember? Isabel, do you remember? Just a grant for it. Remember that? Weren't you at that conference with me?
We saw, Mayor and Council, we saw that at the Water Law Conference, yes.
That they'd spent hundreds of millions of dollars on it. Different companies, so it's going to be open source. But that's one of the things that they're using right now to locate water. But it was pretty ingenious. The same with they supposedly can detect gases, what's coming off of planets and stars, that through different kinds of technology.
Gnarly is technology.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting.
And that's all I have on these. The only other projects will just be using the SGRT for the current matching funds for the Water Trust Board grants that we're going after and waiting on approval from that. So I didn't have that included in here because we haven't gotten a confirmation on whether or not they were approved.
We're going to go ahead and act like they were. What is that, 10%?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So you're looking at if we get, the 40 plus or whatever, you're looking at another 4 million.
And you got the GEO bond that was passed also.
Yep, and that's what we'll use.
And that's, that'll probably go to that Ponderosa area, being that we got the Colonias emergency grant for the roadway and then use the GEO bond for the water. And then we're also going after Colonias right now when we go present on Tuesday or
Ron,
Wednesday next
can
week.
you talk about that?
On the,
Colonias,
we have 3 projects that we're going to be presenting at the Colonias. And Levi, you're going to have to remind me on the total amount of the projects. I think it was 2.5 and then another.
4.5.
So we'll be presenting for some areas also, and it's going to be water, roadways and water line improvements, so.
Ron, in that process, are we up against other communities?
Yeah, Mayor Crawford, Councilor Corey, yes, it's all a competitive application, yes.
so it's where our audits and all of that are very important, having the matching funds available. That we stay up on, and we're very competitive.
That's what sets us aside from the other communities.
Well, and we got on it, we had them turned in like,
Ready.
we're that kid that when the teacher signs the homework, we already got it done. And so we had it all in, so they've had a chance to review it, and
Yes.
they approved almost all of it.
And this will be the village's first applications for the Colonias infrastructure projects. We were not part of it. Now they're going to hear it, and we're going to continue forward, and hopefully we'll do well.
Who's on that?
We will do
board?
well, Ron.
We're lucky we have, there's Dora's on the board, and there's some Dora Batista with the COG, and there's several others on the board. I know most of them, so. And so we'll, hopefully we'll do our presentations and do well on scoring. It goes through the same process as the Water Trust Board, same program manager that Mayor and I went to see, and her and her staff make the recommendations
She
on the
is
project.
on it, but what she told me specifically in the hallway is, when she has a question, he's on it. If there's any inconsistencies, they're very minor and we get them fixed. She said other people don't even get their paperwork turned in. So it's just doing what's asked and the programs, and that's the government, you know how it is on these applications. It's just so tedious.
Mayor Crawford, council, if you'd like, I could go through the roads and the water, the areas that we're going to go after on Tuesday.
Okay.
So the first project is North Brady Canyon, South Brady Canyon, Ponderosa Drive, Maple Drive, and Ash Drive, and that'll be $2.5 million that we're asking for there for the And we just, on these applications, we asked for roadway drainage as well as water line improvements. That way we can use the money how we need to on that, within that project. The next project we asked for.
Levi, I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
is that something that Josh and his crew does? Or is that something that we outsource?
That'll be an outsource.
That's an outsourced
It'll
job?
be a contractor.
He's got his
We'll go out
boat
to-
full. He's just praying his equipment doesn't break
Did you
down.
see, just see his eyes?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Levi. I
You're good.
apologize.
The next project will be Ponderosa Phase Two, which will be Umbrella Drive, Nopal Lane, Redwood Drive, Tamarack Road, Oak Drive, South Oak Drive, Candlewood, and Mimosa. Those are again in that same area of Ponderosa, another Phase Two of that, and that'll be the second phase of that project. I believe, I don't have that number here on what we're asking for, but I think it's around let me pull that up. Should be $4 million there to do those roadways. Again, asking for design of construction, of the design for roads, drainage, and water improvements. And then the third project we're asking for is Alhambra, Chiricahua, Metz, Heath, Jan Lane, Sarah, Snowboard, Valonia, and South Oak. Valonia and South Oak will be paving only. Those won't be water lines. But this third project was roads, getting with Marty's department, asking where the current leaks had been, looking at their past, where they've been going over and over again, to get those in. Those are areas that we didn't have on former projects.
Mayor, Ron, we don't know the roads that, I don't know if you could say or not, but the areas that were, approved by Water Trust Board? Because I know Chiricahua was actually one of the projects we had put in there for the Down Country North project. And that's another one that you just mentioned right there for the Colonias.
Okay.
And Mayor Crawford, Counselor Sanchez, we'll get a definite answer on that, on the which one, with the scope of work on it, so.
Thank you.
Levi, what type of water drainage is going in with those roads? Or is it just water lines and roads? Or is there like rolled curbs or actual curbing or anything like that that goes in with those roads?
I think it'll be dependent on the area. That hasn't been decided. Just once we go to design, then that'll be something hopefully that the engineer can tell us. Like up in Brady and Ponderosa, that'll be a new road in those areas, and then the crossing there at Maple, a new crossing, just depending on the areas. I think we are leaning towards going with rollover curb so that the edges hold up, better.
Because we lose a lot of edges around, because we don't have that curbing on the edge, huh?
The challenge that we have is just our right-of-way to, within these areas, to be able to widen the road enough to get a full curb on either side, that 18
It's what,
inches.
16 or 18 inches?
18 inches.
The curbing's gonna be 16 to 18 inches, but the right of way is all gonna depend on the area that you're in.
Got you. I got you. And is any of that, and I apologize, Levi, but like working with Sauter Miller and all those guys, and they were talking about storm drainage and everything, is that getting put into these roadways as well, or?
Yeah, with culverts.
Culverts and.
It's everything included in that. Yes, sir.
So these are like top of the line roadways we're talking about here.
It's as far as the dollar will go. So that's, and on some of these roads, we have FEMA damage in some of these roads that we're doing, but we have decided to go after this Colonias and some of these same areas, being that with the FEMA project, it doesn't actually replace the whole road. It just repairs what's there, and it's.
And let's just
Yeah,
not,
only what was damaged.
But that's the goal with this, is to be able to come in and do a new road.
And so many of those, the base is gone, the foundation, they have to redo that.
Yeah.
Base course, build it all the way up again.
No,
Bank stabilization, whole nine.
I'm a fan of not putting a Band-Aid on a boo-boo. Let's just fix it right.
Right, yes,
And
sir.
it's gonna be weather, that's what always binds us up.
Not in the mountains.
So they're gonna be a busy crew. It's gonna be a lot of paperwork, gonna be good, so. Isabel's gonna be very busy.
Ron's excited. I can see it in his eyes. He's excited about it.
You will be too, because people are gonna go, oh, wow, look, Brophy got elected, Adam got
Things are
elected and they're getting
getting
stuff done, man.
Thank goodness.
It's all been in the process.
Yeah.
Thank,
But there's gonna be a lot and Josh has got so much stuff to do. We're just praying that all that work we've done on the equipment and have we ever got the one piece back, the lay down machine?
Mayor, council, no, sir, not yet. When we go into
Yeah.
ours, we can kind of get into that.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just,
Yes, sir, but no, we have not received our paving machine back yet.
okay.
But Mayor and Council, we spoke with the salesperson, with, is it Caterpillar?
Caterpillar.
And he's willing to let us use it as a demo, the new one we're going to purchase upfront, because we'll be taking this to council for the special meeting on the lease agreement for the new paving machine, so.
Yeah,
Because we're desperate, we need to get rolling on that project over there.
yeah, okay.
Mayor, could we take a little bit of a
Sure.
break? Stretch out?
Absolutely. Let's take a 10-minute break. It is 15 after. And we'll come back at, let's just make it 15 minutes on the half hour.
did you see on, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna call Elda Herrera. Is it Elda or Nelda?
Back up.